All right, so I'm going to break down a text exchange between a girl and a guy. Obviously, there's no names here, so this is just a random text exchange. I saw this on my Facebook feed, and I feel like it's a good example of how women lead guys on and basically gaslight men. So this is an example of gaslighting. Now, gaslighting can come in many different forms. It's not strictly one thing or another. But basically, the bottom line definition of gaslighting is sort of leading someone on in a way and then sort of turning it around on them. Basically, using somebody for a purpose, and while you're using them, kind of like, or excuse me, after you're done using them, kind of like turning it around on them, like they're the reason. So basically, it's like using somebody for a specific purpose, then once that purpose is fulfilled, you discard them, and then when they come around and act like, hey, you know, what's going on? Why are you not talking to me anymore? Or why have you discarded me? They try to turn it around on that person and act like that person is doing something wrong or did something wrong or whatever, which basically is a mind fuck. And if it's ever happened to you, then you know what I'm talking about, and it's happened to me several times by girls in a very similar situation to this. So basically, this scenario is a girl who, this is very common. She's dating a guy, probably having sex with him. All of a sudden, she realizes he's not congruent. He's not as much of a cool guy as she thought he was. You know, he's not as alpha. He's not as bad boy as she thought he was, etc. Right? And then once that happens, what happens? She loses attraction. She loses interest. And there's a million dating websites out there. There's a million pickup artists, YouTube channels out there that's talking about why women lose interest, because you're giving her too much attention, you're not staying on your purpose, you're being too beta, etc., etc. There's all kinds of reasons for why women lose attraction. It could be finances. It could be because the guy's he is kind of acting beta. He's acting too needy. He's not as cool as other guys that are hitting on her. I mean, the world is fucked. I mean, like, it's very difficult for a relationship to be successful because women constantly have guys coming at them, hitting on them, guys who are cooler than you, guys who dress better than you, guys who are better looking than you, guys who have more social status and money than you, etc., etc. I mean, biology is fucked up, particularly female nature. That's why it's so hard to find a good quality girl who's down for you and who's gonna stick with you. And a lot of times men make the mistake of chasing women just because they're good looking, chasing women just because they're good at sex, and they get caught up in this type of situation. So once a guy starts getting into a sexual relationship with the girl, emotions come, and she can easily fall out of love with you. She can easily be enamored with you at the beginning of the relationship, then a few months later she just has no feelings for you whatsoever, because women love opportunistically, whereas men love idealistically. So this is why it's so much harder for a man to get over a breakup, whereas it's very easy for a woman to turn off her feelings for a guy and move on and find somebody else. It's actually pretty much downright cruel. So I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to sort of break it down, what's really happening here. So basically, the girl is in the blue and the guy is in the gray, and he's obviously trying to get her attention. She's obviously taking her attention away from him, and this is what happens when a woman loses attraction in a relationship. This is what happens when she is no longer attracted to the guy. And it's not a quick one-time thing. Women don't usually do that. They don't usually just end it quickly. It's slowly. And the reason why it's slow, the reason why it's a slow withdrawal is because she's looking to monkey branch. She wants to keep the guy around just until she finds somebody better, just until she finds his replacement. And it's cruel. It's fucked up. It's just, it is what it is. And women complain that men do this when, ironically, women do this the best. You know, women complain that, he's got a side chick, he's got a backup girl. They're complaining because it's not in their interest. But when they do it themselves, then they're all for it, and they, you go girl, and they clap. So that's what's going on here. She's lost interest. and he wants to know why she has lost interest and he wants to get her back. That's the underlying theme of this text so far. So let me start this. He says, the whole effing message, dummy. She says, I'm not feeding into your games. Got study to do. Stop thinking you're so damn entitled. So basically, he probably called her out in a really long message, and she didn't respond to it because he probably said some real shit in that message about how she's behaving or what she did. She may have cheated on him, all kinds of stuff. And then she's saying, games. I'm not playing your game. So she could have used any word there for game. She could have used drama. She could have used toxic. She could have used anything, right? She could have used any word there, but she's calling it games. So she's saying, and he probably said some real shit. He probably said, why are you doing this? Why is this? I have a problem with this. And so she calls it game. So she's already condescending. And she says, stop thinking you're so damn entitled. So basically she's saying, you don't get to tell me what to do. You don't own me. I can do whatever I want. You're not entitled to my response. You're not entitled to my... Meanwhile, she's probably slept with this guy. She's probably gone on a ton of dates with him. They've probably hung out. Who knows? Maybe even 6 months. I'd say it's between 3 and 6 months. Okay. Might be longer. I don't know. But basically she's saying, the underlying theme is she's had a change of heart, and she's saying, I don't have to respond to you and tell you everything. And this is what girls do. They hide their true intentions. They hide, they won't give you the attention because them giving you attention is like giving you power. So anytime a girl is responding well to you, she's giving you attention, etc., everything's good. Once she stops responding to you, once she stops giving you that attention, something's wrong. She's either met somebody else, she's mad at you for some reason. Okay, so let me go on. He said, no, I didn't. I said, listen to me. Effing what? So what are you doing, huh? Reply to it, Allie. Her name is Allie.Ally. Like I said, I'm not going to say her last name, but he says, reply to it, Allie. What games am I playing? So he's calling her out. He's like, I'm not playing any games. Listen to what I'm saying. What were you doing, huh? So he probably caught her cheating. He probably caught her with another guy, caught her out at a party, whatever. Right? He said some real shit, and she's trying to say it's games, woo woo woo. She said, I just told you I got study to do, and you're still telling me what to do. So now she's taking this like, oh, you're trying to control me, you don't own me, entitlement, you have entitlement, and I'm studying. Well, if you enter into a relationship with the guy, that's, you owe the guy, you owe him your loyalty. But obviously she doesn't think that. She thinks she's still free, etc. So she's not ready for a relationship, and basically she's gaslighting at this point. She says, you think your needs are always priority. Newsflash, they're not. So basically she's trying to turn it around on him, like, oh, you always want your dick sucked, you always want me to come satisfy your needs. What about my needs? And it's basically she's using that as an excuse for why she's cheating, right? So he says, C, can't answer it, guilty dog. Tell me what games am I playing, Allie? So basically, she cheated, and he's mad about it, and she's avoiding and deflecting, and now she's turning it around and acting like he's the bad guy and he's the reason. And this is what girls do, and this is a sign of an immature girl. But even this is really kind of it's really kind of immature. It's really kind of sophomorish on her part. She's not very good at this. She's not very good at gaslighting. I mean, I've been with some real cards. I've been with some real, some real experts on gaslighting, and this is not very good gaslighting. This is just a little immature girl who won't take responsibility for her own behavior. And so that's all this is. I just wanted to break that down for you guys real quick. Obviously, it's pretty obvious what it is, but it's gaslighting, and it's basically just, a woman not taking responsibility, trying to turn it around on him. And this is an immature. She's going to grow up to be something way worse than this.